Hey everybody, thanks for joining us at Star Media. It's Fire Prevention Week, National Fire Prevention Week, and our Luverne Fire Department has always done a great job honoring the week and teaching kids about fire prevention and families, and we are just happy to have our Fire Chief Dave Van Batavia with us today. He's been scrambling busy with everything, so I appreciate your time.
Absolutely.
So I think that we just have a list of questions we think that our community might be curious about. And
for sure.
How long have you been Fire Chief?
I've been in the department 21 years and been the chief for the last 11. So it's been gone. It doesn't seem that long. It's gone fast.
It's a lot, isn't it?
Yep.
So I want to ask now too, just a few basic numbers type things. How many of you are on the department? What's on our team?
Right now we have 36. We can run at 37. So we do have one opening, but 36 is good.
How do you attract firefighters? I mean, why did you join? Let me ask you that.
Well, 21 years ago, really, I was just, very interested in, the trucks and just stuff like that. And I was used to working, within the community, between working at the ice arena and with people. And so I thought it'd be a good fit for me.
What are the qualifications? Before you even apply, what do you have to be a firefighter?
Well, just Minnesota driver's license and 18 years of age.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yep.
What is your average age of your fire department? Because you can't it's not an old man's job, I assume.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I would say our average age right now with, the new hires that we got, I would say we'd be in the mid to upper 30s, 35, 37, somewhere in there. So we do have quite a few guys that have been on 20 plus years.
How old are you, Dave?
46. So
you just get to boss people around.
That's right.
The advantage of being chief.
Yep.
So we're not required to retire at a certain age?
Nope.
Okay, as long as you're strong enough?
Yep.
Cool.
Mark Kurtz, I'm not sure how old he is, but he has 40 plus years in the department, and he's very active and does a great job. So there's absolutely, no reason that we would want to get rid of him. So
perfect. I'll tell him.
Yeah, right?
You're not fired, Mark. All right, so let's talk then too about, so there's a time commitment. So you have to be strong and you have to be agile, but not everybody can commit the time, because so it's not just responding to fires.
Right.
Tell me about what your training requirements are.
Yeah, so we train one Monday every month, specific training, and then we have a monthly meeting the last Monday of the month.
So there's 2 Mondays.
Yep, and we'll do, that one is lots of times we'll tour business.
Oh.
Just to, check the layout of businesses. Okay. There's a couple businesses like us that come every year. Then the third Monday of the month, these are just for the guys that are into the extra training. Oh. It's not mandatory. We do TRT, which is technical rescue.
What would be a technical rescue? Tell me what.
A grain bin, grain bin rescue would be technical rescue. We get into ropes and pulleys with that. It's not always so much, we will get in there with ropes and pulleys and to tie off the victim, but also we try and get our guys in with harnesses and rope and pulleys on.
How you do a grain bin rescue. I think the last time we had one, I kind of explained to readers, but it's fascinating. Just in a nutshell, tell us what you do.
So let's just say a typical grain bin rescue would be one person, and the tubes are meant to go around.
One victim.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Where, typical scenario, we had 2 victims, so we needed more tubes, but just basically we set tubes around them. They lock together, and it's kind of like driving a fence post in the ground. So we work these tubes around them.
Because the grain is putting pressure on them and they can't breathe, is the deal. And I don't know if everybody understands that either. That's why they're so deadly.
Yep.
Once you start getting pulled in.
Yes, and the more that you move around in there, it just funnels in. Mm-hmm. So if you take a scoop, it just fills in. Mm-hmm. So that's why the tubes have to be put in. Yeah. And then we use a little auger system.
To auger the grain out of the tube that's around the victim.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So one tube will usually stay about halfway down. So the other ones we'll get down as far as we can, and like the very last one we put in is like half a tube. So then we'll use the drill there, and then get the corn out, beans out, whatever it may be.
And once they're not getting pulled in by the grain, then you're able to extract them.
Yep.
And
There's-
praise God.
Yep.
But you don't have a lot of time for these, do you?
Yeah, and there's depending on their level of consciousness, there's steps on the inside of the tube.
Oh,
if we can clean it out and they're still strong enough, I mean, they can climb out themselves, which sounds pretty crazy.
Yeah, no, that's it. And in this part of the country too, I think there are many, many people who are grateful that you've done the training.
Yep.
You now have the right gear, and no, that's again, many people don't understand how lucky we are to have trained professionals like you are.
Yeah, and then the water rescue this year was just,
I didn't really get a chance to talk to you about that. Tell me what happened. I mean, somebody was stranded in a vehicle, was it?
Well, it was the semi.
Oh, that's right.
Yep, the semi that got off the side of the interstate and tipped over. Luckily, they were able to climb out and get on the side of the truck. To see water like that on the interstate, where usually there isn't any water at all, and just the risk of, putting the boat in roughly a mile to the south and driving through the field and not catching any fences or tying the prop up anything, and having those guys at their risk. And
they're getting put at risk. Your equipment is.
Yep.
All right. And so I did want to hit on a little bit about, so we're a volunteer fire department, but we're volunteer firefighters.
Yep.
And employers have to agree to let you go in the middle of the day or whatever time to go. And do you get paid a little bit per call?
Yes.
I mean, the guys, okay.
So actually, like, our label through the state of Minnesota would be paid on call fire department.
Okay.
So that would actually be our stamp.
Yep.
The guys get like $13.70 roughly an hour per call.
Okay.
So if it's a 3-hour call, they get paid for 3 hours, and they get paid for training. So there's a little compensation there for training.
Sure.
They get paid once a year. So I mean, it kind of looks, maybe at the end of the year, it looks like a little kick for them. They get paid a couple weeks before Christmas, so that adds up maybe
I'm
after.
actually happy to hear that, because I just know how much time everybody puts into this.
Yes.
And time is our most valuable commodity. And so when you have all that, I'm glad to know there's a little compensation.
Yep. And we're always asking for extra out of the guys too, on top of the monies that we talked about. October's crazy, trying to get guys in the middle of the day to go to the school.
Sure.
To talk to the kids, kids at the school, little kids coming to the fire hall today.
Is that a good investment of time, do you feel like? Do you feel like they get it?
It is. It's just hard to get everybody's so busy. It's just hard to get them during the middle of the day.
Yeah.
It's tough.
And that's when the kids need to. And what do you hammer home to the kids? What's the most important thing you tell them?
The biggest thing that we try and get through them is to talk to their parents about not to forget about the smoke detectors and where they should go when they get outside the house.
Oh yeah, a meeting place.
Yep.
Okay.
So there's events out there that have happened before where everybody escaped the house, but there was no plan once they got out of the house. So
where did everybody go?
Mom or dad went back in the house, and then ended up either getting hurt or worse, being
desperately
killed.
Searching for someone.
And the kids at the neighbors.
Oh,
so, or like the fire department's gonna call the shots different on a house fire. Mm-hmm. If we get there and it's confirmed that everybody's out, we'll treat it different. And if we get there and they don't know, well, we have to treat it like somebody's in there.
Right.
So now one of our guys, whoever's in charge of the call, is going to have to make a decision on what kind of strategy they're going to use, and more likely, they're going to send a crew in and put their life at risk, where the kid could just be at the neighbors or in the backyard where they play, or what I mean. So that's what we hammered home to them yesterday.
And these are the sorts of things you won't know.
Yep.
Hopefully.
And it's as simple as telling your kids, to meet at, the neighbor's shed or the street light at the, maybe they live on the corner and there's a street light across, or
at the mailbox if you live in the country.
Yep. It's just simple stuff like that. So
it's Fire Prevention Week.
Yeah.
And so we've sold tickets for a movie. It's a fundraiser. And what do we raise money for? What is it?
A lot of it's fire prevention.
Oh, for
And-
doing the education?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Awesome.
And, you know, getting stuff for the kids, putting on the open house.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, a lot of the money is used for educating the public.
I think next year Star Media is going to go to the school and watch you do your demonstration,
Yeah.
because it is fun. You put on your Darth Vader thing and you tell the kids, don't be
Yep.
afraid. And so, no, that's,
And we did it different this year. We had it outside and it seemed to work really good. So hopefully next year, yeah, you guys can come up and it'll be the same
yeah,
setup.
we'll grab the camera.
Yeah.
I think we'll wrap up the conversation if that's all right.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll have some more, maybe on the scene
Yeah.
type stuff. And so,
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Yes, you're
And,
welcome.
have fun at the movies, and
Great.
thanks for joining us, everyone. We are going to also, I just wanted to quick thank our sponsors, Sunshine Foods, Pepic Motors, Sunshine Gas, Real Estate Retrievers, Functional Nutrition, and Pepsi of Pipestone. And in this week's paper, too, we have pictures of all of our fire departments
Yeah.
and some extra information about fire prevention. And so we have a lot of sponsors that also supported that. So we would just direct you to take a look at this week's Star Herald also.